Picture this, a rookie steps onto the court and suddenly, women's basketball is the hottest ticket in town. That's Caitlin Clark's story. But Team USA decided to bench her for the Olympics. Now Stephen A. Smith is stepping in, ready to school everyone on why this move is a major fumble. Okay, let's discuss Caitlin Clark. Unlike other rookies, she is creating waves. This player is changing the game for women's basketball in terms of what it takes to be a superstar. In what ways is she significant? Imagine this, 20,000 spectators merely to witness her performance. It's unusual for a beginner to do that. Wow, that's quite remarkable. On the other hand, this is where chaos ensues. Team USA declined Clark's request. Yes, that's correct. She was not included in the Olympic team. Stephen A. Smith is heated up about it, and he isn't hesitating. He is claiming this choice was stupid, and he has the evidence to support his claim. What sets Clark apart from the rest, you may ask? Even while her basketball talents are unparalleled, that's not all. It's her off-court contribution to the game. This player is revolutionizing the business model of women's basketball. A jaw-dropping revelation was revealed by Stephen A. Clark's influence on just one game, he claims. Could be worth over $1 million. That is not a small sum, guys. This is a first-year player who is making more money than some full teams. However, Team USA chose to forego the use of all those famous players. Why? Stephen A. is asking the million-dollar question. He's making the argument that there's more to women's basketball than simply the best player. It all comes down to who gets people to sit down and watch. How about Clark? She's taking a major approach to both. Put it in your mind. How long has it been since a women's basketball player generated this much interest? When Clark plays the game, she changes it. People who have never watched women's basketball before are becoming fans because of her. A new level of enthusiasm for the sport is being sparked by her. The compelling part of Stephen A.'s argument begins at that point. He's implying that USA basketball is losing out on more than simply a fantastic player when they bench Clark. They are passing up an opportunity to expand the game. By not participating, they are denying women's basketball the opportunity to gain exposure on the international level. The most important thing, though, is that Clark's influence extends far beyond the Olympics. Stephen A. thinks she'll be the WNBA draft's top choice. What happens when she's a professional? He believes she will elevate the WNBA as a whole. We're discussing a potential game changer in the Women's Professional Basketball League. Given all that potential, why would Team USA turn down the opportunity? Everyone is trying to figure out the answer to that question. None of the explanations have convinced Stephen A. This decision is about more than just basketball, he says emphatically. Let's talk about the sport's future. How about that future? With the help of players like Clark, the future is looking brighter than before. She is demonstrating that women's basketball has the potential to attract viewers, generate revenue, and captivate the general population. She's proving that women's basketball can be as lucrative, thrilling, and consequential as men's basketball. Although it appears to be solely focused on basketball, there is actually a great deal more going on here. Huge sums of money, devoted fan bases, and the fate of women's sports are all on the table. In this piece, Stephen A. Smith is warning of a possible seismic change in the sports world. He is not merely remarking on a game. Let's dissect it. Talent isn't the only thing that Caitlin Clark possesses. The business model of women's basketball is being transformed by her. Do you recall how we said before that the impact per game could be $1 million? It's revolutionary, not to mention astounding. This is a first-year player who is already making more money than several entire teams. The intriguing part, though, begins at this point. Stephen A. is gushing over Clark for more than just his basketball abilities. Something a lot larger is what he's highlighting. Power of the star is important in women's basketball. It's about more than simply who can score the most points or make the most spectacular plays. It all comes down to who can garner the most attention, the most cheers, and the most passion for the sport. How about Clark? That's not all she's doing. She's making her mark, not merely participating. People who have never watched women's basketball before are becoming fans because of her. Her actions are causing others to take attention. To rephrase, what she is doing is crucial for the sport's future success. For that reason, this Olympic snub has Stephen A. enraged. According to him, Team USA and the WNBA need to take notice of the opportunity. They are losing out on more than just a fantastic talent. By passing up this opportunity to showcase women's basketball on the world stage, they are preventing the sport from reaching its full potential and attracting new followers. Put it in your mind, how long has it been since a women's basketball player generated this much interest? It's not only basketball that Clark shines. She has basketball skills. She is demonstrating that women's basketball has the potential to attract viewers, generate revenue, and captivate the general population. She's proving that women's basketball can be as lucrative, thrilling, and consequential as men's basketball. However, if those in charge fail to acknowledge it, then all that potential will be for naught. Stephen A is being completely forthright because of this. That Team USA and the WNBA are missing out on this incredible chance worries him. I know what you're thinking. Why is this important? That's because women's sports are witnessing a watershed moment right now. More attention, funding, and media attention are pouring in than ever before. We need stars though, if we want to maintain that momentum. Players with the ability to captivate an audience and entice them to tune in are essential. Exactly that type of player is Clark. Her statistics are outstanding, but that's not all. Socks in seats and screens in eyes. That's what she's doing. Women's basketball is receiving unprecedented attention because of her. I would pay top dollar for that. Stephen A is making his point crystal clear. This is about more than simply picking the top basketball player. Whoever can bring more glory to the entire sport will win. It's about realizing that charisma may carry as much weight as talent on occasion. What matters most is realizing that modern sports involve just as much social interaction and entertainment value as they do physical skill. And let's face it, Clark possesses both. She's talented enough to compete at the top level, and her magnetic personality makes her a fan favorite. You don't see a player like her once in a generation. She's got it all. According to Stephen A, ignoring such superstar power and talent isn't merely a mistake. It's a lost chance to elevate women's basketball to unprecedented levels. Do you recall the days when the most anticipated Olympic event was the women's basketball competition? Stephen A. Smith claims that their heydays are quickly disappearing. All the commotion, must-see TV moments, and buzz are going away. But hold on a second, because this storyline is about to take a surprising turn. Caitlin Clark is here. Indeed, the identical rookie sensation about whom we have been raving. The one who draws an audience of 20,000 spectators every game she plays in. The one who is making waves off the court as much as on it. Just think of her potential on the Olympic arena. But she's just a rookie, you might be thinking. When would she even get to play? Here Stephen A drops the bombshell that will change your perspective on the entire affair. Clark's playing time is irrelevant. What really matters is the star power she possesses. Put it in your mind, how long has it been since a women's basketball player received such widespread attention? It's not only basketball that Clark shines, she has basketball skills. People who have never paid attention to women's basketball before are now talking about it, tweeting about it, and watching it on television. Visualize this now, and then the Olympics come along ready to take the floor, Team USA, and then there's Caitlin Clark, right there with the elite. Her very presence, even if it's only to warm the bench, would affect the outcome. Why? Because Clark possesses an inherent quality that cannot be imbued through instruction or practice. Her star power is undeniable, and in this modern day, that is priceless. There's more to her than that. What a remarkable woman, a once-in-a-generation gem with the potential to reawaken interest in women's Olympic basketball. Here, Stephen A is being completely forthright. It's not about playing time. He says emphatically, superstar status is at stake, and Clark has it in abundance. According to him, this could be the much-needed boost for Olympic basketball. Let's dissect it. Basketball for women at the Olympic Games was formerly a major event. Viewers were enthralled, supportive, and invested. However, as of late, the enthusiasm has been waning. There has been a decline in viewers. The event is no longer considered a must-see. However, Clark, it's all because of her. She's talented enough to compete at the top level, and her magnetic personality makes her a fan favorite. You don't see a player like her once in a generation. She's perfect in every way. Think of the consequences. As soon as Clark gets onto the Olympic court, viewers who had never tuned in to women's basketball before start doing so. Their curiosity is piqued. They are curious to know why everyone is so excited. A completely new demographic is now interested in the game. The short-term effects are important, but that is not all. all. See the big picture. Clark has the potential to encourage a new wave of female basketball players. Her impact on public perception of women's sports could be transformative. She has the potential to catapult women's basketball to a whole new level of international prominence. The problem is, none of that potential is being capitalized on. The decision to exclude Clark from Team USA's selection is more than simply a squandered chance for her. The whole sport loses out because of that. According to Stephen A., this choice demonstrates a failure to plan forward. It's not enough to just choose the top players according to their present and past abilities. Recognizing the game's growth potential, attracting spectators, and re-establishing women's basketball as a must-watch event are all important considerations. Is one player really that important? You may ask. Yes, without a doubt. As it pertains to Clark, there's more to her than that. She's doing something. People's perceptions of women's basketball are shifting because of her. That kind of influence is invaluable. What does this bode for the sport of women's basketball in the Olympics going forward? So, we've reached a turning point. We can continue doing things the same old way, measuring success by the same old standards. Another option is to adapt to the new sports world by acknowledging the importance of star power and commercial appeal in expanding a sport.